So welcome to Electron 6LA. You are watching Signal System Lecture Series. Today the topic of discussion is the static versus the dynamic systems. Okay. So actually static means it is a memoryless. Okay. In this case the output depends upon the present value of the input. Okay. Present input samples. Okay. At the same time, but not the past and future values of the input samples. But if the system depends upon the past or future values of the input samples, this is known as a dynamic system, but it requires the memory. Okay. So let us see in details what is the static versus the dynamic system. So a discrete time system is called static or memoryless. Static or memoryless if the output at any instant depend n, that is a depend upon the input sample at the same time. Okay, at the same time. Okay, so at the same time, but not the future or past value of the input. Okay, this is the main important concept of the static system. So it is known as a memoryless system, but the output at any instant n, it depends at most on the input sample at the same time, no, but not on the past or future samples of the input. Okay. Similarly, if any other case, the system is said to be dynamic or to have the memory. Okay. If the system is depends upon the past or future samples of the input, then this is called the dynamic. Okay, or have to have some memory. Okay. So you can see this is the input and output equations of this some discrete time system. So these are the you can see y of n. So y of n depends upon the this n you can see this is also n. Okay, so it depends upon the means input sample at the same time. That is the meaning of the static or memoryless. In this case it is n. Here also it is n. Here also it is n. So this type of discrete time systems are called the static or memberless systems. Okay. Similarly, on the other hand, if the system describes the input as a dynamic system or memory, it has some memory. Okay, so you can see this is the system. You can see x of n minus 1. So it depends upon the means past values of the input. Similarly, x of n minus of k. Minus k means it depends upon the past values of the input. Similarly, this is also it depends upon the past values of the inputs. Okay, past or you can see if k is k is your positive. Sorry, k is positive means it is past value. If k is negative, it will depend on the future values. Okay. So, anyways, this type of systems are known as your dynamic systems. Okay. So let us see one means some examples. So find whether the following systems are static or dynamics. Okay. So you can see there are 4 questions. So one by one we'll solve. So in this 4 questions, so it will be static or dynamic. Okay. So let us see that the first one is x of n into x of n minus 1. So it depends upon the past values of the inputs. You can see this x of n minus 1 is there. Okay. So x of n minus 1 is means it is depends upon the past values of the input. Okay. So therefore the system is a dynamic system. Okay. So this y of n depends on the past input values. That is why the system is dynamic system. Okay. Second one is a x square n into x of n. So you can see there is a n. Okay. So it is depends upon this n only. Okay. Not depend upon the n minus 1 or n plus 1. Okay. So this n there is n also here. So it depends upon the n. So present input samples. Okay. That is why the system is static. Okay. In this case, the output depends upon the input at that instant only. Okay. Therefore, the system is static. Okay. So we can see the third one is that y of n equal to x of 2n. Okay. So we can see here 2 is multiplied. Okay. So 2n means if the input is suppose y of n means input is n is equal to suppose 1. Okay. So it will be so n equal to 1 suppose. So y of 1 would be x of 2. So you can see that it does not depend upon the present values of the input sum n. Okay. So you can see here is 1. So it depends upon the future values of this input. Okay. So that is why this system is called the means dynamic system. The system is dynamic. Okay. Similarly, this is y of n equal to x square n. So x square means if we take y of 1, okay, suppose y of 1, it will be x square of 1. Okay, so the same input sample. Okay, present values of the input sample. So this is also 1, this is also 1. So you can if we take y of minus 1, it is also x square of minus 1. If we take y of 2 or 3, okay, that would be x square of 3. So you can see the same n value is same here. The n values are same. Okay. So it depends upon the the input sample at the same time. So that is why it is known as a static system. Okay, the system is static. So that is why this is how you identify whether the system is your discrete time system is your static system or dynamic system. Okay, so thank you all. So thanks for watching this video. So if you have any doubt, you can free to ask me in the comment section. So thank you all. Have a nice day.